Hello, everyone. I first am going to say yes, we hold emotions in our muscles. So there is no separation of mind, body, spirit, right? So we definitely hold emotions in our body, especially as this year has progressed, right? All of us are so tense through our shoulders, neck. It's just what happens, right? We get stressed. We start pulling our shoulders towards our ears. Minor things throughout this year have become like major insults, like I can't take another thing. It's just another thing. It's just another thing. And a lot of that we just store in our shoulders, along with maybe a lot of trauma from our past. So, what happens when we hold our shoulders up here in tension, what does that do? It shortens our breath. So we take shallow breaths and it ramps up our fight or flight response in our body, right? We're never getting calmed back down. So we're always like looking for the next thing to kind of take us down. So I am Molly from Breathe, and I wanted to talk about emotions in your body, and especially as it relates to dry needling, because that's what I just do a lot of because I love it so much. So you might come to Breathe because you have a headache, or you can't turn your head, or you have a pit in your stomach pain, pelvic pain, or booty pain. And if you come, you get an assessment, and we can feel if there is a knot there. So if there's a muscle knot anywhere, that's when we kind of can do the dry needling. And I've talked about that another time. So a little teeny needle goes into that muscle knot, makes it twitch and makes it relax. Now, when we do that, it is not just a muscle treatment. That is resetting your nervous system. So it's kind of trying to bring down that autonomic nervous system. And what happens a lot of the time, and it's very unexpected, is that you might have a huge emotional release. So it is very shocking to clients, but it happens all the time with me. And I just love it because I know that not only are we just treating the physical body and they're going to just like not have aches and pains, but emotionally they're going to be able to move on and it's going to be really healing. So, especially in the neck and shoulders, I'll have you lying down and I might do a trigger point release with the needle up here. And all of a sudden, you might start bawling and sobbing, and people are always saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm crying. It doesn't even hurt that bad. I don't even know what's happening." And I always say, just think about the first thing that came up into your head when that happened, when you had that like sobbing, crying for no reason, and just like spend some time with that. A lot of times it's kind of uncomfortable. They don't want to do it with me, especially if we've just met. Then I say, please go. You're going to get in your car. So there, you might try to stop crying and get yourself composed. And I say, when you go out to your car, just be prepared. It's probably going to hit you again because, we're guarded all the time. And so when you are finally by yourself and in a space to process what happened, it's probably going to resurface. And just think about how you feel and think about all that's going on in your life that maybe we're trying to push under the carpet. And I'll deal with that later because I have so much going on right now. And um, we're not really checking in with ourselves and our emotions because it's too overwhelming, or it might feel like when we go there, we might not be able to get out of it, right? So it's very common in shoulders. I also treat in stomach. Your stomach muscles hold a lot of knots. Think about when you're nervous or anxious or whatever it might be, how you kind of clench your stomach and suck your stomach in a little bit. That can also cause trigger points in your ab muscles. So constipation, pelvic pain, any of that stuff. When we needle the abdominal muscles, it's another huge emotional release. A lot of times after pregnancy and delivery, those muscles get overstretched, and whatever was happening to you while you're carrying your child, sometimes those are the muscles that you kind of hold on to those emotions of nervousness. I mean, I think everyone as an expecting mom is so nervous, especially the first time. And so those can bring back a lot of like what happened during delivery, what happened when I gave birth to my child, did I feel supported, and if not, like how can I process that to change how I'm feeling about it. So it might mean call your mental health therapist or a friend or do other kind of exploration of what's making you feel that way. Pelvic floor, Dry needling also obviously releases a lot of emotions. People with sexual trauma, also birth trauma. If you had a hard delivery, you might have had some tearing or just a constant tight pelvic floor, just like in your stomach muscles in your shoulder. You hold tension in your pelvic floor just like you do in your shoulders. And when we can get in there, and it might not even be with needling, it might just be with a manual release by a physical therapist, just releasing the muscles just like anywhere else, that things, emotions, traumas come to the surface. They come to the conscious, and you have an emotional release with that treatment. And let me tell you, it is like the best work I've ever done. It is so rewarding for me, and it's so great for when you get to the bottom of things. I'm like, where is this really coming from? Is this just a knot in my shoulder? Well, of course not. You can't separate mind and body, right? So nothing is just a knot. Nothing is just an isolated thing. And so even if it's not a huge, like you're crying, weeping, it's just what is coming to your mind, what's coming to the conscious when you're getting even a massage, when you're getting a massage, and maybe they hit a certain spot and you're like, oh wow, like that's the spot that I remember it started hurting like right after my mom passed away, stuff like that. Or I had a surgery. I fell and broke my arm and had surgery, and I couldn't move this arm forever. And when you have a massage or dry needling or anything, they get in there and get in those certain muscles. It might flood your conscious with all kinds of feelings. So I just wanted to share that with you, and it may have happened to you before. So if you've had something like that, like some kind of emotional release at a totally unexpected time with any kind of physical work, like a massage or anything like that, please, if you feel comfortable, share the experience. I think it's great for people to know that it is very common. We are not just a body, right? We're a body, mind, and a spirit. And we hold all of our emotions and the trauma and the good and the bad in our bodies. So message me if you have any questions. Share an experience if you feel willing to share today. And I hope that you have a wonderful day filled with gratitude and smiles today. Thanks.